Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. All the big Middle Eastern brands are dropping new flankers. Armaf with the new Club de Nuit Bling, Versatility with the new Hawass London. That stuff just doesn't fit in at all.
I'm not supposed to be here.
And now Afnan with this one, 9PM. Night Hound. Gotta feel like before too long a new Kamra's coming, you know, it just seems to be the lay of the land. But for now, we're gonna concentrate on this right here, which by the way, I picked up an extra for one of you. That's pretty heavy. We'll talk about that later though. Now I'll have this one linked in the description in case you want to check it out. FragFlex has it, which by the way, I also have a code for FragFlex, which is right here. You can use that to save yourself extra money anytime you shop on the site. You can use that code unlimited times. Unlimited savings of 10%. So actually not unlimited. Also have codes for a whole bunch of other sites, which you see right here. So anytime you shop any of those stores, use those codes. Let's check out the presentation. First up, the box. It has this very cool kind of obsidian-esque look to it. You have on the front the name of the fragrance, the house, size, and concentration. It's an extrait de parfum, 100 ml size. On the top of the box, it says Afnan. On the back, your ingredients, also your barcode, and your sticker of authenticity. Box opens up like so, and it does have a little magnetic closure. And on the inside, you're gonna find another sticker of authenticity, just because the one on the back, that's not enough. 2 stickers of authenticity. They need to hide another third one in here somewhere, just to be safe. Also, you're gonna find the notes for the fragrance on the inside here. It's got a pretty busy note breakdown, a lot going on, which I will take every single day over the 3 note breakdowns we've been blessed with lately. That's what we'll call it, blessed with. In a southerner in the US, bless your heart kind of way, if you know what I mean. And here we have the bottle, which this one actually looks sick. Easily the best looking 9PM bottle to me, really heavy as well. Has this kind of cracked iced look to it. You have on the front there the name of the fragrance, house, size, concentration, just like the front of the box. On top of the cap, it says Afnan. The cap is nice and heavy as well. A little sticker on the bottom along with your badge code. My badge code here, A2536412, and then Afnan on top of the atomizer as well. You can say what you want about Middle Eastern brands, about clone fragrances, about all that stuff, but in terms of how this looks, how this feels, and how much this cost, pretty sick. Let's do a couple sprays. 3. Ooh, sacre. This one has just been released, obviously, so price-wise, it's gonna be a little bit higher than it's going to be in the future. Right now, it's sitting around that like 45 to 50 range most places. And if you look at that full note breakdown, which again, pretty busy, this looks like the greatest hits of club fragrances almost. Just like you have every modern day club banger accord shoehorned in there with a couple wild cards just to make it interesting. Lavender, cognac, apple, vanilla, but then dragon fruit, just to be a little different. Then you have toffee in there, which mixes with that cognac that gives you that modern boozy gourmand vibe. That's how it comes across in the note breakdown. Then of course, what would it be without a little amberwood action? They've got ambrifix in there, which you're gonna find in fragrances like myself. You have tonka, patchouli, and akigala wood as well. And you know, even more in there that I didn't mention yet. So yeah, when you look at that note breakdown, it's just like, wow, they just took a little bit of everything. The whole kitchen sink, just chucked it in there. How does that work out? Because on paper, it looks like that could be a recipe for a diabetic sugar-induced coma, which doesn't always work out. I mean, unless you're like into diabetic comas, I guess. So this one opens up immediately attention grabbing. It's fresh, it's sweet, right off the rip. That dragon fruit gives it a really nice pop, this kind of tropical vibe as soon as you spray it on. But it also has a crisp bite to it, so it just cuts right through the air when you spray this one on, probably because of that apple note. Then you've got a slightly syrupy, boozy undertone from the cognac that's working right alongside that more tropical, fresh opening from the dragon fruit. It gives it some weight off the top, you know, it gives it a little extra push, but it's not heavy. And so altogether, when you first spray this one on, it's almost like 1 part dragon fruit tropical cocktail, then 1 part clean lavender, and then also 1 part warm spice, kind of working alongside those other parts. That spiciness just helping prop everything up a little bit. And it commands attention the second that you spray it. This stuff projects enormously off the first spray from me. It is absolutely fantastic in terms of grabbing that attention right away off the top. And it does have kind of a faint similarity to Forever Wanted elixir, but more so just in this like Arrested Development fruity sweetness that Forever Wanted elixir has when you spray that one on. You know, that one has raspberry right up at the top, melding together with suede underneath. And this one has aspects of that come through. So if you're really familiar with that one, you might smell this one, and especially off a strip, be like, oh, yeah, it's like some similarities there. But to be clear, it is not a clone of Forever Wanted elixir. If you spray them on side by side, this is doing its own thing, but it has some similarities there. So you might be able to find some stuff that reminds you of that one when you spray this one on, but instead of that red berry raspberry, you're getting dragon fruit here, more of a tropical lean to it, that crispness that you get with this one as well. So it's giving you a slightly more exotic twist while keeping things more fresh, because this one does come across fresher than that one as well. Now, I already mentioned this, that with that note breakdown, you could be expecting just a sugar bomb, just an overload, you know, bubblegum death. Because you go back to the original 9PM, which smells like Ultramall, pretty sweet, right? It's got that bubblegummy kind of vibe to it. So you might be thinking, well, you know, this one is 9PM night out, so they're probably gonna ramp that up even more and just make it just way overdone. And yeah, there's some sweetness here. There is some sweetness here, but it's saved because of the blend. The implication. The implication of what?
Because of the implication.
Huh?
So instead of being an overdose of sweetness, it's got this bit of green. It kind of flirts along the edges of the scent. Part of that's gonna be the apple, the bergamot, but there's also a green cardamom and patchouli. And so all of that sort of melds together into the scent. It helps take some of the edge off of that sweetness. It keeps things tight and lends a little aromatic edge, and that makes the fragrance just feel more well-rounded, more thought out. It keeps everything firmly masculine, especially with that spice and lavender in tow, and it just makes this more versatile. So even though this is called Night Out, in reality, it's more so something you just wear whenever you want. And with that aromatic edge, along with the lavender and the spices in tow, it makes this fragrance feel more complex, like it has a little more going on, instead of the fragrance just going, how about sweet, with a little more sweet? And wait for it, a little more sweet. Let me hit a rip off my vape. A little sweeter. Sweet, sweeter. I hope they choke on it. They didn't go that route, thankfully, and it is so much better. And the texture of this one off the top is really nice as well. It almost sizzles, not in the way that it smells hot or anything like that. It just has a nice liveliness to it, an effervescence to it. So at times it's almost like champagne coming off your skin, you know, lightly sweet with all these other different notes working alongside it, the suede, the toffee, the cardamom. And then other times when you smell it, it feels a little more sensual, a little bit warmer, sexier. Another cool thing about this one, recently I had a couple of my best friends in the world hanging out with me. Manny from Cascade Scents, Bradley from Triple Ink. If you're unaware, we all started YouTube kind of around the same time. They don't really do fragrance videos as much anymore. Manny does every now and again. Anyway, I've been hanging out with them and they were blown away by this stuff. Multiple times they've asked me what I was wearing. They were like, you wearing that one again? And just talk about how much it's projecting, how good it smells. So it's just one of those things where if people who have smelled thousands of fragrances smell this stuff and they are immediately asking you, what is that? A pretty good sign. Unless they're asking you because it smells like trash. But that wasn't the case. I also told Bradley and Manny both they need to get back on YouTube and start making some more videos. Will they do it? Who knows? So into the mid, the sparkle, that kind of effervescence for this one, it sticks around. A lot of fragrances that are marketed as clubbing scents just devolve into a wall of sugar, you know, within 20 minutes. But this one maintains that bubbly, lively aspect, which I really appreciate. The lavender does some heavy lifting with this one through the mid. Not that it becomes a lavender fragrance, it's always there, giving you this nice masculine, clean edge to the scent, and the way the lavender is used could kind of remind you of the original 9PM a little bit. Not that this smells like Ultramall, just that there's a little bit of a common thread that you can tie from one to the other. Along with that suede, toffee, and tonka, you start to get woodiness that comes out. So in the mid, it becomes more and more woodsy as the fragrance dries down. And it gives you overall this really nice, rich, ambery kind of scent profile. Starting to lean a little bit amber woody the longer that it stays on your skin, but still really, really appealing. And here's that kicker once again, even though it's called Night Out and it's in the 9PM line that a lot of people would kind of associate with being overtly sweet, this one really isn't. There are some bubblegummy aspects, but way less than you might be expecting. And so even though it has this nice push through the opening, through the mid, it doesn't become a cloying, headache-inducing monster. It's not really that kind of fragrance where you have to worry about spraying on too much and then being around people and having them just get a ripping headache because you're wearing something that's just too aggressive. It has great balance, and the woodiness in here through the mid and also into the dry down helps maintain that balance from the opening into the mid into the dry down. So it doesn't end up coming across, at least to me, as just a teenager fragrance, right? And there's nothing against that, but it doesn't have that type of scent profile where you just immediately go, oh, night out, pigeonhole it in here. It's for clubs, for people 18 to 22. You know what I mean? If you're 18, can you wear this? Absolutely. You'll smell awesome. If you're 16, can you wear it? Yes. If you're 30, can you wear it? Yes. 40, yes. 45, yes. On and on. And that's because instead of them taking a vanilla cake batter kind of vibe, just overdone sugary syrupy sweetness, instead of that they structured the sweetness so it's there, you can pick it up, but instead of it just being piled on top of each other, you know, all the notes, they've worked them together. So you have that balance that I've talked about a couple times, the aromatic vibe, the woody vibe that comes through the suede, that helps kind of bring it in line. Into the far dry down, this one gets woodier still. Now, it still maintains that toffee suede, kind of spicy, lightly zingy aspect, but it becomes more and more woody the longer it's on your skin. That little peppery, woody tinge as well helps give the fragrance a touch of grit once you hit that far dry down, so it doesn't get powdery on you. Even hours later, you still get a pop, an occasional pop of fruity sweetness, and it still maintains a nice freshness as well. Even though it gets woodier, it doesn't turn into like a heavy, dense, dark type of scent, which is kind of unique. You would think that, you know, it would get darker and heavier and way denser and just flatter to maintain that longevity, but it doesn't. It keeps a nice freshness, and it keeps that nice occasional pop of sweetness without it getting too much. Now, in terms of projection, I've kind of talked about it a couple times already, but this is an extrait de parfum, and it projects and lasts like one for me. Really, really good projection initially. Like the opening and the mid, this stuff will fill up a room with ease. People will pick it up from rooms away when you first spray it on, if you're, you know, in your kitchen or office or something like that. And then it will last. It'll stick to your skin. It will especially stick to your clothes. It'll last hours and hours and hours. So no question, a great performer, which kind of par for the course when it comes to the 9PM lineup, especially one called Night Out with an extrait concentration. And because that balance is dialed in here, this is really just about a year-round fragrance. This is not something that I would say, oh, fall, winter, nighttime only, even though they clearly have, you know, made it look that way. To me, this is spring, summer, fall, winter, maybe middle of summer when it's hot. During the day, I'd go for something else, but during the evening, I'd go for this. Really, if you like the fresh, sweet scent profile, you know, both of those in one scent, which I've talked about in the past, is kind of a hidden cheat code. If you're after just the dumbest reach, like the most versatile compliment pulling type of scent that you can wear, usually you want something that is both of those things, fresh and sweet. This is. But if you like that type of scent profile, this is pretty easily something you could make a signature scent. Obviously, completely different fragrances, but they came out at the same time, both from really big houses. So Hawass London and this one, very, very different. Hawass London is more of a throwback luxury soap, feminine leaning kind of floral forward fragrance. It smells similar to Brompton Immortals. But between the two fragrances, I would take this 10 times out of 10 over the Hawass. I think for the overwhelming majority of guys, what they're looking for, this does better, but realistically they have nothing in common outside of they're both from very prominent fragrance lines from very prominent fragrance brands that dropped right at about the same time. And even though this has a couple of similarities to some other things out there, you could say, you know, it takes bits and pieces and puts it together, kind of like Invictus Victory Elixir. Not that this smells like that, but if you smell Invictus Victory Elixir, that one also is doing its own thing, but you can smell like, oh, a bit of this, bit of that, bit of this, bit of that, and then kind of put it together. It's kind of what's going on here. So it's like a creation that is inspired by some other things out there that it took bits and pieces from, if that makes sense. For me, 45 bucks for this one, absolutely nuts. $90 got me two, which is why I'm a little bit late coming out with this one, because I had to wait for it to get here and then I had to wear it and all that stuff. But at that price, this stuff is a win 10 times out of 10. The price drops further as time goes on. It gets better. For me, kind of a hot take maybe to some people, I think this is the best one. Of all the 9PMs, if I could keep just one, I'm taking this one. The original one may be a better bang for buck, sure, because it's cheaper. And some people really like 9PM Elixir because it's gonna give you that fall, winter time, you know, Le Mans Elixir Absolute kind of vibe. But if I'm taking just one 9PM, it's gonna be this one. I can wear it just about year round. The performance is there, the compliment factor is there. It smells fantastic to me. It rips from top to bottom. It just hits every single mark. Big time compliment puller. I've already pulled compliments with it, even outside of my YouTube friends, which, you know, those probably don't really count. So just a really quick pros and cons. First, the pros. To me, this one, best in class. I put it at the top of the 9PM lineup, especially as the price continues to drop as time goes on. Second pro, kind of a unique profile. Not a direct clone, makes it a little more interesting. Third pro, monster performance. Projects, it lasts. Another pro, balanced sweetness. It's not overdone. And finally, the versatility, fantastic. The value, also killer. The cons, there aren't too many. First off, it's sweet leaning. So if you hate fragrances that do have any kind of sweetness in them, you may not like it. And then I don't know if it's exactly a con, but the whole night out branding. Even though the presentation looks sick, if you see this, you're going to expect, oh, specifically for fall and winter, for an evening out, more of a heavy fragrance, potentially way, way, way too sweet, but it doesn't exactly match up with that. Outside of that, stuff is awesome. Let's do the giveaway. So it is obviously 9PM night out, still sealed as you can see right here. It's like 45 bucks, but you know. So this will be open to anybody in the world. If you want to be entered, just leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite 9PM is. And also if you've never smelled one, you can just say that you've never smelled one, that's fine too. Like the video, be subscribed to the channel. I'll pick a comment with random comment picker and post it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. And if you're the winner, hit me up and I will ship that out to you. All right guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me here today. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.